Welcome to the Thursday edition of Take 5 for Torah. Today is July 10th, and Thursday means that today we're going to do a Dvar Torah on the parasha itself. And today's parasha, this week's parasha is Balak, which is mainly the story of Bilam. And Bilam is often contrasted with various biblical figures. The most famous one is perhaps Moshe, where the Torah says that no prophet ever rose in Israel like Moshe, but Chazal incredibly say, but a prophet with similar gifts came amongst the Gentiles, and that was Bilam. But Bilam used his gifts in order to curse innocent people and to cause mayhem and death. So that we'll leave that comparison aside and compare him to Avraham, who was a very copious comparison made in Pirkei Avos between Avraham, who has the good eye, the good heart, and Bilam, who has the evil eye and the evil heart. I would like to concentrate on that eye. Chazal say that Avraham had special vision to be able to see what people needed. That when he sat in front of his tent, waiting for people, waiting for wayfarers, waiting for people who looked like they were hungry or famished, that when he sat in front of his tent, and it says in Parshas Vayera, which is God appearing to Avraham, that Avraham Vayar, he saw three men in the distance. And then the next verse says Vayar, again, Vayarotz likrasam. He saw something again in the next verse, and then he ran out in order to assure that they would come to his tent to receive his hospitality. The commentaries ask, what was that second Vayar that wasn't included in the first Vayar? So the first Vayar is that he saw sense data. He saw what anyone else could see. Three men in the distance, and they were standing there. The second Vayar is what makes Avraham so special and is a challenge to each and every one of us, his descendants. The second Vayar noticed that they look hungry, they look famished, they look like their feet are blistered, they look like they could use some hospitality from Avraham's tent. And he ran out. Remember, Chazal say that he had just given himself the bris. I mean, that's what's written right before in the Torah. So he was convalescing on the third day after his bris. And remember, he's 100 years old. And still this man ran out to greet total strangers. And this is what it means to be a descendant of Avraham, to have that extra eye, to see not only sense data, but to see into things. People won't always carry a placard that says, I'm depressed, I need help. Even the people in our closest circles might not actually broadcast such needs. We have to be able to, like Avraham, look into things. This seems to fit beautifully in a Gemara in Maseches Sukkah that says that the Daled Minim, the four species we take on Sukkot, are all related to parts of the body. We take one esrog because we have one heart. We take one lulav, which looks like a spine, because we have one spine. We take two aravos because we have two lips. The aravos look like the lips. And we take three hadassim that look like the human eye because we must have three eyes. Two that see what everyone else can see, and that third eye that's able to see into things. Like Yosef. Of him too, it says that when he saw the butler and the baker in jail, he saw that they looked depressed. You think they're about to be killed by Paro. When you get on Paro's wrong side, of course you're going to be depressed. But he cared enough to ask them what's on their minds. They would never have opened up to him to tell him their dreams. It's only because Vayar, he saw that they looked, there was more than just something that might pique your curiosity. The same for Moshe, actually, in the beginning of Shmos. It says, Vayar v'hinei ish mitzri makeh ish ivri me'echov. He saw an Egyptian beating a Hebrew, something everyone sees every day. Vayar again in the next pasuk. Moshe saw into things. He looked this way and that way and saw there's no mensch here. Vayar ki ein ish. And he said, I have to change the course of human history. And we have to have that extra eye. That's the eye of Avram Avinu. Chazal say that Bilam had only one eye, perhaps in the middle of his forehead like Cyclops, who only sees one dimension of things, but Bilam could not see into things at all. He only had one eye, and Avraham has three. And that's our challenge, to see into things, to look for people and their needs, and to fulfill them just as Avraham did in that story and throughout his life.